Thank you for taking the time to view and listen to this PowerPoint presentation about our BSc Honours in Sport and Exercise Science here at Liverpool Hope University. My name is Simon Marwood and I'm the subject lead for Sport and Exercise Science and Sport Rehabilitation. Sport and Exercise Science is located within the School of Health Sciences, which is on the Hope Park campus of Liverpool Hope University. The Health Sciences building is adjacent to, in fact attached to, the Hope Park Sports building, and hence for our students it is the perfect mix of access to their locations for study and learning, and also to the sports facilities, which are wide-ranging both indoor and out, and available for a nominal fee for yearly access. Teaching in sport and exercise science is a fairly standard mix of lectures and seminars and tutorials. You would expect to do 6 one-hour lectures within your first year in any given week, accompanied by 2 two-hour seminars and 2 one-hour tutorials. Lectures are in the traditional sense, yet you will find the staff team to be a highly engaging group. Seminars are very often practical based, either in the laboratory or in field settings, and indeed in your first year you would expect to average 1 practical session per week at least throughout the year. These seminar sessions are there for you to learn essential skills in sport and exercise science, be that across biomechanics or psychology or physiology. For example, you will learn kinematic and kinetic analysis and force analysis within biomechanics, and you would also learn the assessment of physiological capacity in the physiology laboratory, such as the measurement of maximal oxygen uptake. Our seminars are interactive and problem solving, even when they are classroom based. And in the final year, it's notable that these seminars become research led, where you will learn the cutting edge research in the field in accordance with staff research expertise. The tutorial system at Liverpool Hope University is standout on account of the small size that we determinedly introduce, particularly at first year, where group sizes in the tutorials are approximately 10 students to 1 tutor. This enables students to interact more readily with their tutors, and these tutorials are intended to become student-led and open up discussion of the subjects in a safe and supportive environment. And as a consequence, we know our students very well, almost to a one-to-one basis, and we have a close working relationship with students able to speak to us throughout the week and not just inside taught sessions, in accordance either with an open door policy that at times operates or on regularly advertised office hours. Our programme in Sport and Exercise Science is available either as a single or a combined honours study. The single honours option means that you would spend 100% of your time studying sport and exercise science within our subject area. For the combined honours option, you would spend half of your time studying sport and exercise science and half of your time combining that study with another subject, for example, nutrition. On the following slides, you will see a description of the content of the curriculum across the single honours programme as a whole. If you are interested in the combined honours option, you should look out for the Human Sciences for Sport programme in the first year and the Applied Sports Science programmes in the second and the third year. That is the half of the degree that you would study with the combined option. The curriculum structure at Liverpool Hope University is different to most other UK institutions, which use a multiple module model. Here we have essentially 2 modules, each bearing 60 credits to make up the 120 credits of undergraduate study. These are Human Sciences for Sport and Sport and Exercise Science. In your first year, Human Sciences for Sport considers foundational aspects of human physiology, particularly across cardiorespiratory function, muscular and energetic systems. physical activity and health, a crucial component of sport and exercise science, principles of training, and also key aspect of laboratory skills in physiology. In sport and exercise science, we have kinesiology, sports psychology, our introductory components of biomechanics, in particular kinematics and kinetics, skill acquisition, and it's also within this module that we address crucial academic skills and research methods such as reading and writing, referencing, citing, and understanding how to analyze data. Not only are these crucial skills to succeed in your degree, they are crucial skills in the postgraduate employment world. Assessment throughout the program is of a wide variety. Typically for human sciences for sport, this would look like a laboratory diary alongside a scientific report, an essay, group project and presentation, and various in-class tests. And so what this assessment profile does is emphasize not just individual work that is written, but also group work, the need for interaction and team working, and also alternative forms of assessment such as presentations where students can show a wide range of skills and also the ability to respond to questions. Accordingly, in sport and exercise science, a similar mix of assessment types is present. We have a portfolio of skills which incorporates a wide range of aspects of those crucial skills for success, not just within your degree, but in future careers. A laboratory report, because in our subject, the ability to collect, understand, analyze, and discuss data and information is central. An essay, and there are also in-class tests which replace a formal examination which doesn't exist in our first year. In the second year, the curriculum is again organised across two 60-credit components. Applied sports science, replacing human sciences for sport, alongside sport and exercise science. Within applied sports science, you will study cardiac physiology, physiology of aerobic and anaerobic performance, athletic testing, training and monitoring, physical activity and health, performance and notational analysis, and alongside all of those you have field, data and laboratory skills. In sport and exercise science, you would study sport nutrition, environmental physiology, sports psychology, skill acquisition and motor control, applied sport biomechanics, whereby, for example, you apply concepts learned in the first year to areas such as running gait and cycling, and also academic skills and research methods running through the program as central areas for study. Assessments, again, are broad, with at times a case study approach taken to certain issues alongside a laboratory report to continue that thread of being able to collect and analyse and interpret data, an essay, and in year 2 we start to see a formal examination which would ordinarily be undertaken under normal examination conditions. For sport and exercise science, we retain a portfolio of skills as we continue to develop the skills needed for the postgraduate world, and this includes a variety of assessments, group and oral assessments included, and scientific reports forming the core of the coursework as we learn to understand the world from a basis of evidence. And here there is a second formal examination, and so 2 exams at the end of year 2. The first year of study provides a foundational context for the rest of the program. In the second year, we develop this, for example, in applied areas of study, or for example, in the context of exercise training. In the final year of study, we continue this theme, looking at more complex scenarios and, in certain cases, special populations. The programme at third year has two 45 credits taught modules, Applied Sports Science and Sport and Exercise Science again, and the remaining 30 credits is extracted out and they go towards the research dissertation, which is a single prolonged project, often the crowning piece of a student's degree. Within Applied Sports Science, you will study exercise and health, focusing on testing, prescription and special populations, such as, for example, aging or children. Performance analysis examines performance profiling and prediction and the interaction with technology and equipment. Performance physiology examines the mixture of training, recovery and rehabilitation to optimize sports performance. Skill acquisition and motor control. Within sport and exercise science, we have cardiovascular and metabolic health, crucial area of study for general population health. Sport nutrition in relation to sports performance, sports psychology, injury and rehabilitation. Within the final year, we also have specialist seminars, the only area of study choice for students, whereby within each term, students will make a choice, one of two, what we call specialist seminars, where they will study under the research expertise of the staff. The assessment types now start to examine the area far more critically. So critical analyses, but also an applied sports science report alongside a formal examination within applied sports science. And in sport and exercise science, we have critical review essay, scientific report, and a formal examination. So whilst across the entire degree, the assessment is predominantly written, the types of written reports are a wide varieties, from essays and reports to critical analyses. But within many areas, there are group work and other presentations that involve oral work. And for almost all areas, the study in question is underpinned by practical work, which necessitates working with each other's group work and leading and being a member of a team. It's important to say another word about the research dissertation that you will do in your final year. This is an independent research project that you do alongside your tutor, hopefully undertaking some novel research alongside existing staff research expertise. It's not unusual for students to have their research published, and really this is the centerpiece of a student's degree, where they can examine an area of interest from a wide variety of perspectives, or from a very detailed perspective using the skills that they have developed throughout the rest of their program. There is no accreditation for undergraduate sport and exercise science degree programs in the UK. However, the British Association of Sport and Exercise Sciences, otherwise known as BASES, is the primary professional body for the subject in the UK. They have what is called an endorsement scheme, and we hope that by October 2021 that our programme will indeed be endorsed by BASES as a mark of its quality. Despite the relatively small size of Liverpool Hope University, the facilities for our students are second to none. In recent years, we've invested £16 million into the sports science and sports facilities on the Hope Park campus. These include spacious laboratories for learning and teaching, and these laboratories have integrated classrooms which allow seamless movement between the laboratory and the classroom for pre-session and post-session learning. In addition to these primary classrooms, we have individual research hubs for sports performance, physiological assessment, biomechanics and human movement, the study of the cardiovascular system, motor control and skill acquisition, and also a dedicated strength and conditioning suite. And I say dedicated because this strength and conditioning suite is not available for normal members of the gym. The strength and conditioning suite is solely for students studying under our programs for their learning and teaching purposes. And what's crucial to understand about all of these fantastic facilities is that there is no one facility that is separated from the staff and to the students. The students have access to all of the same facilities that the staff do, meaning that when it comes to project work, perhaps within the first and second year, or the research dissertation, there's no limits to the access that the students have, and hence the equipment and facilities are all there for staff and student alike. This is the beautiful Hope Park campus. The main building in the middle of the picture is the Health Sciences building, alongside the older buildings of the institution. Inside, we have here a shot of a classroom which holds around about 50 students, and this is the classroom that I said had seamless integration with the laboratories, because either side of this classroom there are entries into two large exercise physiology laboratories, and then ultimately into our biomechanics and human movement suite. These laboratories, this is just one of them, will swallow 25 students all at once, and what this means is that we can teach our students initially in the central classroom from a single staff delivery, and then they can disperse into the laboratories to undertake their practical work before coming back in to debrief and understand what the data that they have collected means. And as a method of learning and teaching, it really can't get any better than this. Here we can see one of our sports science laboratories in use with a typical classroom situation where we would use cycle ergometers as a means to manipulate the exercise intensity on the participants. And as they exercise, we can monitor a range of cardiorespiratory parameters. So for example, you see these trolleys that carry what are called Douglas bags, and we capture expired air. And the expired air helps us to understand the exercise intensity, the ventilatory demand, and it helps to understand the substrate utilization, for example, the balance of fat and carbohydrate being oxidized. We can use these set up to stress the participants maximally and measure maximal oxygen uptake, or we can use these facilities to measure a wide range of cardiorespiratory parameters such as the lactate threshold and the respiratory compensation point. Immediately adjacent to the sports science laboratory, we have this vast biomechanics and human movement space. This space is served by a double height area in the foreground, which enables the capture of any sort of overhead or overarm actions. Human movement is analysed by motion capture cameras, which you can see on the rails in the upper foreground. These rails go all the way around this space, meaning that you can use the whole space to capture the human movements. The space is served also by high-speed video, and also on the floor up to 16 locations for forced platforms. It's an excellent teaching space. As you can see, the large monitor in the middle of the area, but also in terms of project and a research area, what you can do here, you are only limited by your imagination, such as the space and the technology that are available here. One of the best aspects of the facilities that we have at Liverpool Hope University is that the laboratory areas that we've just been looking at are connected physically to the sports facilities. So for example, we have this bridge area with an area for students to relax in between sessions. That's connected to the main sports facilities via some lecture theatres that are almost exclusive for the use of students on the sport courses. And so in just one area of the campus, the students can access their laboratories, lectures, and also the general sports facilities. We move across the bridge to the Hope Park Sports Building, and within there is housed our strength and conditioning suite. As I mentioned earlier, this strength and conditioning suite is solely for the use of students on our programs. It is not for general use, and so our students would use this during the normal learning and teaching curriculum, but many students also use it as a project space, in particular during their final year dissertation. Within Hope Park Sports, we also have the general gym, which is available for all students at Liverpool Hope University. And here you can see there is a free weights facility, there are the weight machines, and also a wide range of machines for predominantly cardiorespiratory fitness. There is a sports hall which is bookable for all the usual sports hall based activities. Outside we have an AstroTurf pitch as well as a 3G facility. All of these facilities come bookable as part of the nominal fee for the year. Our students go on to a wide range of employment opportunities. Teaching is often something that our students wish to go into afterwards, and normally our students would undertake a first degree in the subject and then do a postgraduate teaching qualification. A high number of our students go on to further study and qualifications. They may use our degree as a baseline for going on to an MSc in related subjects at other institutions. Students can stay on and do a Masters by Research with us at Liverpool Hope University. This programme is part taught but has a predominant research component. And our degree programme can be used as a basis for application to pre-registration physiotherapy postgraduate programs. Our students work as sports scientists in elite sport or as strength and conditioning practitioners, again across elite sport. A lot of our students go on to work in the public health and clinical environments, perhaps working with local groups in relation to, for example, weight management, or sometimes working within the clinical laboratories. Sports development and management is a crucial role for graduates of our discipline, such that the facilities and administration of sports are available for the whole community. And what you mustn't forget is that general postgraduate employment is an option for our graduates. Our graduates come out as highly numerate, they deal well with other people, and they have the capacity to understand evidence and form an opinion on the basis of evidence. The skills that they learn throughout their degree are essential for the general postgraduate employment market. Our students are a very satisfied group. The National Student Survey yearly typically gives a very high score. And here are some interesting quotes from some of our students. I enjoy the practical sessions in the science labs and the sports facilities where we get to work in groups and make friends easily. Working with people and making friends on the back of that is underestimated often these days, and we like to think that our highly practical and applied degree program maximises the opportunity to work alongside others and get to know other people. The relationship with your personal tutor is practically one-to-one, which is ideal because you know that they will be there if you ever need them. This is true, we are there. With being a relatively small institute, we know our students better, and we invite our students to call upon us if they need us, and we are there to help them. With our offices being in the same building as most of their taught sessions, it means that we are highly accessible, and we also have office hours throughout the week for formal times when the students can come and find us. The practical style lessons were my favourite aspect, as by doing something in practice was always how I learned the best. We hear this a lot from our students, that they feel they understand things better once they've replicated things in the laboratory that were taught during the lectures. Plas Cardeien is our campus in Wales, just inland from Barmouth. It's a facility that we use for an outdoor education and team building visit in the first term, where our students can get to know each other in a wide range of scenarios, from canoeing and raft building to hill walking. It's a fabulous place to be, as you can see from these photographs of the main building on the left and then across the estuary from the main building over towards Cadair Idris, the third highest mountain in Wales. If you wish to contact us, here are the main contact numbers and email addresses and social media for Liverpool Hope University as a whole. However, if you wish to get hold of me, please feel free to drop me an email. My email address is at the bottom there. As I said at the start, I'm the subject head across sport and exercise science and sports rehabilitation, and I'll be happy to hear from you and answer any individual questions about the programme if I can. Thank you for listening.